The graduate market of 2020 and 2021 is noticeably different to previous years, primarily as a result of the coronavirus pandemic and how it's affecting the United Kingdom. Recruitment budgets have been hugely reduced due to the economic impact that COVID has had on businesses. According to Indeed 2021, there are 10 top skills that graduate employers require across a range of industries, which can be seen on this slide. These are the skills and competencies that employers believe graduates should possess to demonstrate that they are professional and efficient. Additionally, some of these skills, such as communication, teamwork, and organisation, can be transferred between various industries. The events sector in particular requires their graduate candidates to occupy several additional skills. This makes it more difficult to be hired by them as they are very specific. For example, project management and networking would be needed. Figure 1 shows the industries and sectors that hold the most graduate vacancies in the UK in 2020. As you can see, the public sector possesses the largest number of vacancies. This could be due to it including subsectors such as healthcare, social care and education. On the other hand, law occupies the smallest number of vacancies. Despite this, according to the High Flyers Report 2020, it is the law sector that provides one of the most generous salaries in an average of £45,000. In order to create a personal development plan, also known as a PDP, I completed 10 self-assessments. This included personality, feedback, self-scored, time management and skills and competencies. From the results collected, I have created a SWOT analysis. This has allowed me to visually see the areas that I thrive in and those that hold me back. According to 16 personalities, my turbulent protagonist personality type means that I'm a natural born leader and I'm full of passion and charisma. This is inherent and therefore means that even if I don't necessarily show charisma in my day-to-day life, it is still within me. Additionally, the source states that I'm unafraid to stand up and speak out when I feel that something needs to be said. Up until recently, I would have been hesitant to stand up for what I believe in. However, since improving my confidence through my PDP, I've stood up for several things. Furthermore, diagram 1 shows the number of hours that I spent completing specific activities in a 24-hour period on the 11th of January 2021. You can see that I use my day effectively and I do not believe that I need to improve my time management. This is because I can complete all of my tasks in one day, spend the recommended amount of time sleeping and achieve the desired amount of university work per day. Diagram 2 shows my results from the radar diagram self-assessment. The results show my ability to prioritise certain aspects of my life. As seen in the figure, I am willing to retain my level of study and health in order to improve all other aspects of my life. The top 10 skills and competencies shown on slide 2 and the SWOT analysis shown on slide 3 have allowed me to produce a gap analysis. From completing this analysis, which can be seen on the slide, I'm able to clearly highlight my similarities and differences to the ideal graduate candidate. Furthermore, it has allowed me to pick out 2 objectives for my PDP. These were commercial awareness and confidence. The reason for this choosing is due to these specific areas not being a strength of mine. On this slide, you can see my personal development plan. This includes 4 objectives that I set back in January and hope to complete by June 2021. The objectives I've chosen can be seen on the slide. For each individual objective, I set myself tasks to do in order to complete them. These tasks took time and effort to do and required resources such as lectures, seminars, enthusiasm, assignments, the internet, motivation, and my phone. My first objective was to increase my confidence. This included areas such as being around new people and presenting. I have measured my improvement by how much and how often I step out my comfort zone each time an opportunity arises. It is a realistic objective as I gave myself 6 months to complete it by. Additionally, I believe I've been successful to a degree as I can comfortably present in front of other people and contribute to more conversations. This was what was included in my success criteria. In order to achieve this goal, I've completed several tasks. One task was an assignment from Future Focus Management for Sustainability to create a voiceover on a group presentation. Figure 4 shows evidence of my recordings. I rehearsed my presentation script to a peer and received verbal feedback on what I could improve. By continuing to practice, this has helped me improve my confidence of presenting. Another task I completed was regular exercise. I feel more confident in my tasks when I feel good about myself. As you can see from figure 3, I completed nearly all of my Apple Watch rings for the majority of April. This allows me to feel more confident as according to Bear, regular exercise helps to relieve stress and anxiety that may be blocking my ability to be more confident. A third way I increased my confidence was by completing a listening task during my applied management practice seminar. My lecturer created an audio that provided instructions for me to follow and in order to draw a picture. The results from this task can be seen in Figure 2. Furthermore, this task gave me confidence as my drawing was very similar to that of which my lecturer produced, therefore I must have done something right. My second objective was to reduce my distraction level. This included trying to reduce my screen time and use of my phone, as well as setting myself shorter time frames to complete certain goals by. The time period I gave myself was also 6 months. I believe I have successfully completed this objective as I can go without looking at my phone during my lectures and seminars, as well as being able to block out distractions easier. In order to achieve this goal, I've completed several tasks. The first way in which I went about reducing my distraction level was by downloading an app called Planty. This app helped me maximise my efficiency by removing distractions. It did this by setting a timed task growing a tree and was disrupted if I went off the app, therefore removing the temptation of using my phone. Figure 7 shows that I've gained a 95% overall efficiency from using the app. Another way I reduced my distraction level was by placing my phone in a drawer, as seen in Figure 8. This further removed my temptation of going on my phone. At the time of creating my PDP, motivation was one of my weaknesses and therefore needed improving. I believe that I lost motivation as I didn't have to physically get up and travel to university or manage my time as effectively. Additionally, I struggled to learn using online learning and therefore found it hard to motivate myself. I believe I have successfully improved my motivation as I have completed all of my assignments on time and achieved good results. As this objective is based on my university assignments, I aim to complete it by June 2021, which was a realistic time period. To improve my motivation, I set myself several tasks. The first task I completed was a CPD development record, which can be evidenced in Figure 12. For this, I researched which ways I could increase my motivation and selected a handful that will benefit me the most in this area. From here, I recorded the tasks that I completed and stated what I learned from doing them. One of my chosen tasks was to create a list for each assignment I had due and break each one down into smaller tasks. This allowed me to focus on one task at a time and has proven successful as I have received high marks in all of my assignments this year. Evidence of this task can be seen in Figure 11. Another task that I completed was asking for feedback, as seen in Figure 10. When I received constructive feedback from my tutor, this motivated me to make my work better. This has proven successful as I've received first on all of my assignments so far. I can transfer these methods in several ways to stay motivated in other aspects of my life. One way is by being given a larger challenging task from my employer. I could use the list method to simplify it. This will allow me to focus on smaller parts of the task and therefore be more successful. My final objective was to improve commercial awareness. I chose this as it was highlighted in my self-assessments as a weakness. I've improved this over the course of 5 months with a set completion date of June 2021. I believe that I've completed this objective successfully as the success criteria was to have a reasonable amount of knowledge of the subject as there's no specific endpoint. To do this, I completed a CPD development record which can be evidenced in Figure 14. For this, I researched ways I could improve my commercial awareness and selected a handful of ways to use. From here, I recorded the tasks that I completed and stated what I learned from them. The screenshot that can be seen here is only one of 3 pages of notes. One of the chosen tasks was to read the daily news. My iPhone has an app called News, which allows me to keep up to date with all of the latest headlines around the world about businesses and people. It has allowed me to learn about topics such as the reopening of the high streets and how this has had a positive and also a negative impact on the COVID-19 recovery plan. Another task was to watch BBC News at least twice a week. This allowed me to visually see and listen to what was happening around the world, such as the Palestine and Israel war that has taken place. When I first set myself this objective in January, I purchased a book called All You Need to Know About Commercial Awareness by Chris Stokes from Amazon. I finished the book, learned new terms that were used in commercial awareness, and also discovered problems that there are in specific areas of the business. Once I finished this book, I took it to a charity shop as I thought it may help someone else improve their commercial awareness. As seen in the revised SWOT analysis on this slide, I have highlighted some skills and competencies in my threats and weaknesses box. This is to show the areas in which I no longer believe to be threats or weaknesses. The reason I believe this is because by completing several tasks for my PDP, I have worked on improving several of these areas and have therefore eliminated or at least significantly reduced them. However, despite increasing my confidence through my PDP, I still see it as a weakness as I haven't improved it to the level that I would like to, or all areas that I would like to. From completing my PDP, I have learned several additional things. Firstly, I have learned to be less selfless through increasing my confidence. One of my personality self-assessments highlighted that too often I put people's needs before my own. Therefore, I see it as a weakness, as this can often put me in difficult situations. From this, I have changed how I behave in day-to-day life. I have done this by starting to focus on myself more rather than automatically putting everyone else's needs first. Secondly, I have learned to reduce the amount of time I spend on social media. This has stemmed from my original objective of increasing motivation and reducing distraction levels. Thirdly, I have become more aware of the environment around me by continuing to keep up to date on my commercial awareness, as this is something that I will continue to do, as there is no endpoint for this skill. After reconsidering my PDP, I have chosen 4 objectives. I have set my target completion date for all objectives as September 2021. My first objective is to improve my decisiveness. When I completed several self-assessments, this area came up many times as a weakness. I will measure this by tracking how many decisions I have made since starting and logging their results. I will know I have achieved it when I'm not afraid to make tough decisions. Similarly, I have chosen to improve my communication skills because it was also highlighted as a weakness. By improving this area, I'll be allowing myself to be a more competitive graduate. I will measure my improvement by seeing how much I join in conversations. My success criteria for this will be being able to include myself as much as possible in conversations and to read other people's body language. I've selected a previous objective of increasing my confidence as my third objective. This is because I do not believe I have improved it enough to make me a competitive ideal candidate. Despite meeting the success criteria of being able to present more confidently and speaking in front of strangers, I would prefer to continue working on it until I feel confident enough. My final objective is to further improve my commercial awareness, as there is no definitive endpoint to this objective. I will do this by completing the same tasks I did in my previous PDP. To conclude, by completing my original PDP and my revised one, this development will allow me to move towards being a really competitive candidate in the graduate market.